We've seen electric equipment being presented in many booths at ConExpo this year, but none more so than here in the Volvo display. As the leader in the electromobility movement in construction, we made a conscious effort this year to ensure attendees could get on our electric machines and experience actual machine operation in real time, including their power, lower noise levels, and minimal vibration. And for our virtual audience, we have several sessions devoted to electric machines and the option to sign up for local operating events in North America markets. To close out this day 2 of Volvo at ConExpo Live, we're lucky to have some true experts in electric heavy equipment with us today. Dr. Ray Gallant, correct? Vice President of Product Management and Productivity, and Lars Arnold, Electromobility Product Manager at Volvo Construction Equipment. Thank you both of you for taking your time today to talk to a little bit about Volvo electric equipment and the lineup we have here. So I'll kick off this for you that are watching online. Please put your questions in the chat. So Lars, first question, what's the #1 question that you get about the electric machines?
It's actually 2 questions.
Oh, 2 questions, okay.
So #1 question, what's the runtime of the machine? #2, how long does it take to charge the machine?
I've heard that all week, yes.
Yeah. And we have so much experience with the machines, we have a very clear, solid answer on these questions.
And the answer is?
Between 4 to 6 hours, depending on the machine.
All right.
Between 4 to 6 hours on the L2025, ECR25, more actually on the EC18, ECR18, and DD25 also around 2 to 4 hours. Why do I give a range? Because the machines can run very hard, or they can have a very light application.
And I also heard on the last one of our segments that depending on AC or DC voltage, correct? It depends, it can charge faster.
Yes, we have an AC charge set up and we have a DC charge set up. DC charging is DC fast charging. AC charging is simply plug it in a wall outlet. Standard one, 110, takes longer time to charge. 240 volt is preferred, then the charging time is reduced. And then again, DC fast charging, there we have the shortest charging time. And the charging time, you'll ask me, only look at one charging setup. It's around 6 hours, plus or take, give or take, for all machines on 240 volt. And then if we do DC fast charging, it's around 1 or 2 hours, depending on how big the battery pack is on the machine.
That makes sense. So Volvo has 5 electric machines on the market here in North America. As you mentioned, the DD25 electric compactor will soon be #6. Yes. So what have you learned from the first customers that helps answer those questions that you spoke about, as well as others, those kind of questions?
So we have a lot of experience with having the machines out with customers. So we know very well what the runtime is, what the charging time is, what's the right charging strategy for the customer. AC charging, slow charging, DC fast charging. If a machine needs to run 24/7, for example, on a mini excavator doing indoor demolition, get the DC fast charger, do opportunity charging, and you can run 24/7.
Nice. Now we have an expert here.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your role in all of this.
So my role, I take care of a lot of the new technologies coming in, new products coming in. So how do they fit with the customer's operations? As Lars was saying, it's very different depending on the application the customer has. So one of the learnings that we're getting out of it, to add to what Lars says, is actually knowing how the electric machines act in a particular application and what the benefits are that electric can bring that a conventional diesel engine doesn't bring. So my role is kind of to oversee those learnings and continue to expand where these machines are applicable and where they can be brought into the marketplace.
Now I saw a question come in. So charging, Lars talked about this earlier. What type of charging products work with Volvo electric machines?
So all our machines are designed to use the conventional standard charging products that are out there for automotive. So a J1772 plug, same as you would have for a vehicle, can charge in.
They don't need anything new.
They don't need anything special. We even supply a cord with the compact equipment, so you can plug it into a 120 wall outlet or a 240 outlet in your house and charge your machine directly from that.
It's pretty impressive, right? You've thought about it, because that's what always people say. I don't want to have to change something out just because I bought something new.
It's like fuel on a regular machine. So if you don't have fuel, the machine's not much good to you.
Well, it's like the cell phone the cell phones where they
Yes.
switched out the plugs, and all of a sudden everybody's like, I liked my old plug, right? Like it's that simple.
Exactly.
Don't make it too complicated so they can say yes, correct? So Ray, in the press event that they talked about hydrogen. I interviewed somebody earlier about that too. Are there applications or machine types where battery electric may not be the answer, or at least at this time? Are there still zero emission solutions being developed?
Absolutely. So there's a number of zero emission or low carbon emission solutions that we're working on, all in parallel. The advantage of hydrogen is that you don't have the power limitations that you would with a battery. So when you have very high power or very long duty cycles, you end up having a very large, very heavy, very expensive battery, and it's on board on your machine, of course, 24 hours a day.
24 hours
It
a
doesn't
day.
go away, it doesn't empty when the charge goes down. So hydrogen is another alternative that we're bringing to market. It's just another option, and we think it'll be a good solution for higher power, longer duty cycle applications.
So speaking of that, how does someone know if electric is right for them?
It really depends on the application, and we're not saying that electric is right for every
Everything.
application, every customer today. So it's really a learning curve. Have to look at what the customer's job is, what his application is, and what he's looking to do. So there are certain jobs where the needs of the application are just that you don't make any noise.
Right,
You know, that
exactly.
it's silent, that it doesn't disturb things around you. So that's a great application
Well,
for an electric machine.
We interviewed Walden Hill Farms,
Yes.
who has, and they specifically, husband and wife, said that one of their favorite things is that he can be working in the field and she can walk right up and have a whole conversation with him, and he doesn't have to shut anything off, and it's so quiet they can actually talk.
Yeah, and you
while he's
picture
working.
that even on a job site.
Yeah.
You know, where
With all the extra
safety
noise.
aspects are huge of
Exactly.
enabling that.
So, Lars, this is a question for you. People can actually get on the compact electric excavators and wheel loaders here at ConExpo, which, by the way, I will be doing that before the end of the week. What have they been saying when they try out those machines?
They love it.
They love it.
They love it. No vibration, the noise, it's amazing. And it's even customer telling me what I tell dealers in the trainings. They realize, oh, I can talk with bystanders. Especially on a mini excavator, you have people working around you, but now you can talk with them without needing to turn off the engine. The other thing, which is a funny story, we have a lot of novice operators here, so people who have never been in a machine. So we dial the machine down, to make it a little bit slow.
For all
Then
the
we get the
newbies, right?
experienced operator in there, and they say, oh, it's too slow.
Yeah.
Okay, dial it up, and wow, here we have the power. Yeah, so it's a
Nice.
powerful machine.
And also, what about maintenance? I've heard that question come up a couple of times. What do service teams need to know about electric equipment and maintenance?
It's quite easy. So working on electric items, batteries, cables, voltage, it's no rocket science. It's been around since forever. We have certified electricians. We actually offer to our dealers a 2-day certification training to work on the machine, so they're well prepared. And then it's no rocket science again. Turn off the machine, make sure there's no battery power coming off out of the machine. And keep in mind, the moment the ignition is off, the batteries don't give power because each battery has a relay and there's no power coming out. And then another thing, think about your car maintenance. Your main maintenance is around the engine. Anything related to engine maintenance is eliminated.
Wow.
So generally with electric equipment, we think the maintenance is going to be much less, and we're seeing that in the actual deployment. And the other thing about maintenance that you have to keep in mind is that these are electric machines. Some of them have fairly high voltage. So the training and the safety aspect, we're being very careful
Wow.
to make sure that is embedded in our service technicians.
And to that, the mid-size EC230, right? So that the electric excavator, the one that's here at ConExpo, that's actually a step up for an electric machine, correct?
Yes.
So what do they say about where you're headed with electric machines, considering that large machine?
You
It's
mean
not
in
small.
viewpoint of more models coming out, or?
Or both?
Okay. It's a natural step to go also to larger machines. We're using the same batteries as we use in Mack trucks, Volvo trucks, the short-haul trucks.
Okay.
It's a very powerful, quiet machine, and there's much more to come in the future on electrified machines, which we will offer. We will still offer diesel machines, but we will add much more over the next years to our portfolio, electrified.
And this is part of, in the booth, and we had a question a minute ago about hydrogen, this is part of the solution set. So the 230 excavator uses a higher voltage battery. It allows us to charge and discharge at a faster rate in the batteries. But there's also hydrogen technologies coming in. There's grid connected machines coming in. There is internal combustion still with low carbon fuels as a factor. There's even hydrogen internal combustion that we're looking at. So all these technologies are going to be appearing in the market in the next few years, and Volvo plans to take the lead in them.
I love it. And to that point, where's the future of all of this going? Do you have any comments about, can you see into the future?
I think diesel engines are not going completely away. I think it will turn to sustainable drives, hydrogen fuel cells, battery electric. Then we will have a majority of machines being electric. I don't know, but it will come. It's only a question of time.
Our stated Volvo goals are 100% safe, 100% more productive, and 100% fossil free. And I think that sums up where we want to go with
where
this.
the future is.
It doesn't mean that internal combustion goes away, but maybe diesel as the fuel, pure diesel, goes away, and we replace it with renewable diesels, low carbon fuels, or hydrogen. Hydrogen comes in as a fuel, electric machines. So it's a combination of everything.
What I've noticed this week is that Volvo really does listen to what your clients want, and that sort of dictates and push things towards the future, correct? I mean, that's what I've seen, is that that's one of the first things. It's about safety, but it's also forward thinking and how to get your customer to hear this customer, and then get them to understand where we're going with everything too.
I think that's a very important point, and that's not only in terms of bringing more electric machines or hydrogen machines or sustainable machines, it's the whole value chain.
Exactly.
So we just had to hand over the fossil-free steel articulated hauler that we have here, so that's going right back into the suppliers that we have, SSAB, and how can they be more sustainable, more carbon friendly, environmentally friendly in steel production.
I love it.
So, and that's coming from a customer request.
I love it.
Everything out of the team.
Thank you both for coming. Ray, Lars, I really appreciate you sharing more details about the Volvo electric equipment lineup that we have here. It's great to see that these are actual machines, not prototypes, and they're already out there in the hands of our customers getting work done. And that's a wrap for day 2 at ConExpo 2023. We hope you gained valuable information on new products like the L200 high lift wheel loader and DD25 electric asphalt compactor, plus answers to all your top questions, answers regarding all our latest productivity and site optimization technology and electric equipment lineup. Again, if you're interested in operating an electric machine and see what feels right to you, reach out to us. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.